today, don't be late. Fins up, we ride until the end with Bobby talking about the Phins. Podcast popping every week, no delay. Join the crew, Phins talk today. Lolly chat and stacks so prime. Miami hustle all the time. News and views will pave the way. Dive on in it, if Phins talk today. Top plays and what went wrong. Breaking down each game so strong. Fans united, feel the beat. Phins talk family, can't be beat. Fins up, we ride until the end with Bobby talking about the Phins. Podcast popping every week, no delay. Join the crew, Phins talk today. Fins up, we ride until the end with Bobby talking about the Phins. Podcast popping every week, no delay. Join the crew, Phins talk today. Join the crew, Phins talk today.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of Phins Talk today here on FTSN. I'm Bobby Finstalk, joined by Doll of Doll's Diaries. Doll, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm ready for some football. I got the U today. I got Dolphins tomorrow. What kind of girl won?
There you go. There you go. What's up, Cap? Good morning. Yes, Ralphie boy. I had to include him in there, my man. Miss him dearly, obviously. But yes, I got Ralphie boy there in the intro now. Right where he needs to be. Mike, she is fighting, but she is here. She is a trooper, ready to talk our beloved Miami Dolphins. But yes, welcome to another episode of Phins Talk today. We will discuss a lot of stuff today. There's a lot of news on Miami. People are going nuclear on the Dolphins. There's a lot of noise this week. Plus, we got the New England Patriots in week 2, which we'll dive into. But Doll's Diaries is back. Let's talk about the very first episode you had with Planty. Are you excited about to be back?
I'm excited to be back. New time, new day, works with the new schedule of life. But I had to start it off with her because she's my best friend. Who else would I start it off with? And if anybody wants to be on Dolls, let me know. We wing it over here, and everybody knows that Doll wings it. I'm thinking of doing maybe something live while I'm down for Fan Club weekend. We'll see, because I don't think I'll be able to do Dolls the day after I arrive back from Fan Club weekend.
Yeah, I don't think you will. Yeah.
So thinking about that. So we'll see, but I'm very excited to be back.
You have a question there in the comments.
No, you guys, I'm a Dolphins fan, and then I choose a player to ride or die with during their tenure on the Dolphins. And then once they leave, circa Cameron Wake, circa Xavier Howard, they're not my man. Achan's my man now, as everybody knows. I put out warnings probably weekly that I better not see any smack talk about Achan. So no, I'm a Dolphins fan who chooses a favorite player on their tenure on the Dolphins.
So let's stay on that. Xavier Howard, the Colts last week defeated the Dolphins 33-8. We've had time to digest that loss. Has anything changed for you? How are you feeling after week 1? Do you feel like, okay, that was a hiccup, or is that a sign of things to come for the Dolphins?
I'm kind of in the middle. I don't want to over panic. Week 1 over panic. However, I'm on the record as saying I didn't have high hopes for this team. I have been pounding the pavement for us to beef up this secondary. And the only thing they really beef up is the D-line. And that was probably one of our weaker units. So no, I'm curious to see. I'm hesitant to see what they do. But I need to see, I guess, more out of them. I don't need to see more talk and more press conferences and more blowing smoke up our butts. I need to see on the field production.
Yeah.
But now with Storm Duck, I don't even know the names of the start. I don't even know who our starting corners are at this point.
Yeah, so Storm Duck is down. I don't have the injury report.
I think it's, I heard it was like Jack Jones. I don't even know who this man is. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys.
Yeah, Jack Jones, who we signed in the offseason, late in the offseason. Let's see, Jason Marshall, the corner
No,
or
he's
rookie corner. Is he
I
out
heard,
too?
I think he's out. I heard it was Rasul Douglas and Jack
Russell,
Jones.
yeah, we signed him. There you go, Scotty. What's up, Scotty? Good to see Scotty in there. Give me a second. Let me pull this up. It's been a week, you guys. It's been a week.
But I'm just saying, I am a huge secondary girl, as everybody has seen on my tangents. I mean, just Google really anything with me and Evan, and I go in tangents. And I don't even know our starting secondary at this point. I don't even know what's going on. But I'm not freaking out anymore. I'm not on the ledge.
Okay. Let's go full injury report here. Let's take a look at Miami's. Why did they give me everybody? I don't want to see every team.
I have it up if you need it.
Let's see. At least what I have is Duck is out. Ashton Davis is questionable. Jalen Wright doubtful. Ethan Bond doubtful. And Benito Jones out. As of right now. So I don't see anything on Marshall yet, but still, I think Rasul Douglas and Jack Jones are our starters. Marshall is our nickel. What's up, Lou? Lou is in the house. Intervention. But the interesting one, Benito Jones being out, because he, does that plug in Kenneth Grant, or they kind of tested this out during the training camp. Do they put in Jalen Phillips into that spot? That way they get all their edge rushers in there. That's going to be very interesting to see. Look, I was on, now that we see Lou and Adrian in here, I was on the SoFlo Sports Show with Lou and Ashley and Adrian and Sammy, which was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Literally, I am wearing shorts, not the boxers, Lou, just in case. I always, now that I think about that, now I figured out what was going on. I always be careful what I wear, because if I have to get up, I don't have that issue of whoa, So that was a fun. You had to be there,
Bobby. This wasn't a concern that I ever had when we podcasted together, but now
you never have to be concerned.
Now I'm going to be thinking about your crotch area. I apologize to Tati for me, but this never crossed my mind, and now
if you ever see me, I'll be right back. Just walk out like this instead of the natural up, just letting you know. No. But we talked about the game with the Dolphins and the Colts, and here's the thing, and I'm happy to see Scotty, and maybe he said already in the comments, but I missed Scotty on post game, and I haven't seen it, so I would love to see Scotty's comments on the game, because I know Scotty is someone who would see probably the other side of it. I'm sure he's disappointed with every Dolphins fan, no matter if you think it's the end of the world or not, should be disappointed in week one. My issue with week one is, if the Dolphins would have just lost, like I said, to Lou and Ashley and Adrian and Sammy, and post game, if Miami would have lost by 3-7, whatever, and it was like, a last minute touchdown or Tua threw a pick and that was the end of the game, that would have been different. That would have been different. It was the way they lost. It was like, this was like a end of the season. The season is over. They've given up on their coach type of disconcerting loss. It was just ridiculous. It was this is week one. And how are we as fans, or even how are the players supposed to really recover from that? That's how it felt. It felt like it didn't feel like a week one loss. It felt like a week 18 end of season. It's whatever. We're done. We want to ride home. It's like they totally gave up. So that's why this loss, and is so disappointing. So many Dolphin fans are already like, okay, we're done. We're dead. Fire the coach, fire the GM, whatever. I understand it. And that's why we're going to talk about it. There's a lot of noise from the national media, the local media. You brought up Cam Newton before the show, but former Dolphins, Xavier Howard talked about Tua. Richie Incognito went on Tua. So there's a lot of criticism going around on this football team. And, honest to God, rightfully so. But we're going to discuss later on, can Miami bounce back in week 2? Will they bounce back? Some don't think. People are like, no, there's no way. I don't see it. I have another take on that, but we'll get there. Let me make sure here. Let me check out some of these comments before we get into the next topic here. Scotty says, good to see a major turnaround this week. I think it's still possible. RA1 was let down, coaches and players. This is Scotty's points. He was super disappointed. Dull, I'm sure the non-married men in the room would want to know if you're wearing boxers. There you go.
No, I'm wearing silk cheetah print sleep shorts.
There you go.
Anybody? I'm still in my pajamas. I rolled out of bed maybe 20 minutes ago.
For Tyreek, cheetah. Represent
Tyreek. Exactly.
There you go.
Thought that through.
There you go. It's only year 6. We need. I like that one, CC. It's only year 6. Let's just be patient. Let Tua grow. Anyway, so talking about the criticism of Tua. Look, there's, again, in the Dolphins Twitterverse, fanverse, whatever you want to call it, it's a total civil war out there when it comes to Tua. Whether you have people who believe he's the franchise guy, that he could be a franchise guy, or could be an elite quarterback, whatever you want to call it. And then you have other ones who just didn't and don't. And it's just whatever. When he has a great game, it's, oh, I told you so. And when he has a bad game, the other one say, oh, I told you so. It's always something. But there is no doubt, whether you love him, hate him, indifferent, whatever, week 1 was a horrible showing by Tua. I mean, it was totally like, you want to talk about non-prepared. I mean, after all that talk, the entire offseason, after all that noise, to put that type of effort, to throw those type of footballs, get your guys killed, to throw 2 interceptions, you had 3 turnovers accredited to you. You can't protect the ball. And then after the game, the way he responded when, they turn over the ball. Like, wow, that's a heck of a thing. What, paraphrasing, but it's like, dude, yeah, why don't you take accountability for it? You played like ass. You played horrible. I want to see, like, I loved when he came out before the season started and was like, hey, Tyreek has to earn that respect. Tyreek has to come back and earn it from us. Like, that's like, okay, I see a leader there. I see a guy that's maybe that part's going to grow out of him. But then after week 1, instead of saying, you know what, I didn't show up today. I let down the team. I let down my the fans. I let down. That there was nothing there. I didn't see no accountability. So I'm not the only one, apparently. Thank you, Zach. National Strawberry Shortcake Day. He's always letting us. What's up, Newfoundland? Let me see here. Ryan Tannehill would never. You're absolutely right. If only we had Tannehill still back there. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Scotty, week 1 was a horrible showing from everyone. Coaches to offense, defense, special. Absolutely everyone. Absolutely true. But let me see if I could find Howard's comments on here.
I just
really go ahead.
Hated everything. I just hated every press conference that I've seen Tua in since the game. I just think it was awful. And shockingly, I actually liked the emotion I was seeing from Tyreek on the sideline during the game. Like that, I saw that and I was like, okay, yeah, they're not sitting and laughing, because we've talked about this when they would throw a bad play, throw a pick, go 3 and out, and they would go to the sideline and like giggle. And we were like, what the hell? Get angry. Mm-hmm. So I liked that. But I really don't think the press helped him with his own fan base or even with the national media, because nobody bought what he was saying. Not a single.
No. And great point, though, from Newfoundland there. And it's something I talked about, too. Again, with this loss, why it's so disheartening and disappointing. A loss would be disappointing no matter what. But the reason why it's just such a letdown was because you had all offseason training camp to put that type of effort in week 1. That does not look like I'm going to be honest. The prediction I had for this team on the record was 9-8. I never changed that. They never went up or down. I never saw anything better or worse. It's hard to see nine wins with this team. That wasn't a 9-win team. Could they change it around? Maybe. I'm not saying they can't. But did we see a team that could win 9 games on Sunday against the Colts and Daniel Jones? Absolutely not. So first off, you're 100% right. Nothing that's come from to a post game has been good and has been made you feel like, okay, this is a setback. This was totally like, what are you talking about? Xavier Howard, your boy, your guy, you've been upfront and honest about how you felt about before he got moved. I mean, if you want a comparison of how she felt about Xavier Howard being moved, go check out her response to Duncan Robinson being moved. So I haven't talked to her about that, by the way.
I emotionally can't handle the heat right now.
Stop connecting with players. Stop getting on there. They just get traded every time. They're not going to move them. Devon Aitchin's next. I'm scared. I know it's Devon Aitchin's the next one. If Evan had his way.
But I named a kid after Cameron Wake. Like you thought Xavier Howard was bad? I wasn't on Twitter with Cameron Wake.
Oh, there you go. So Xavier Howard, this is pretty crazy. Not crazy, but like this is big. When your former teammate comes out and basically, this is what he said about Tua. We knew he gets the ball out pretty quick. And once you take away his first read, it feels like it's panic mode after that. It showed on Sunday. We took away his first read and he was trying to get rid of that ball real quick. The team was purposely clogging the middle, which led to the 2 interceptions. We knew it was a lot of quick throws in the middle. So if I told him clog the middle and make sure they throw the ball outside and we clogged the middle and I think we got 2 interceptions I think we got the 2 interceptions by clogging the middle. Tua's response to that. Let me see here. He wasn't aware of Xavier Howard's panic comments, but had a response on Wednesday. I think if you look at the games where I had performed and done well, it's when I am also getting off my first read and progressing and going through my progressions, kind of like what my feed is telling me. So playing it in that sense. So it's more about the criticism of playing off his first read. So you hear Xavier Howard's comments. What's your reaction to that first?
He's not wrong. And he's not the only one who says that. That's been a criticism of Tua for the past 5 years. How many times have we as fans had to defend when people say, yeah, Tua will panic throw over the middle. Yeah, you take away his first read. He's a 1-read only quarterback. I mean, I've been hearing it for 5 years. And you knew. Xavier Howard knows all the weaknesses of Tua. He's been with this guy for 5 years, his entire tenure. So if you think he did not show up at the Colts day one and say, listen, I know exactly what this quarterback does and cannot do. And if you think that the Colts game plan wasn't heavily reliant on A, common sense, and B, some input from Xavier Howard, especially in that secondary. I mean, how many times have we seen? And last year we got lucky with Jonnu Smith. A lot of the throws to Jonnu were because he was a big body in the middle. But like, we don't have that big body in the middle right now. You already know that McDaniel panics with cover 2. Tua panics when you take away his first read. It's like these guys have one game plan and one play. And if that is taken, they are like, oh shit. Like they don't think on the run. Like you see quarterbacks like Lamar and even Patrick Mahomes, if their read's taken away, their guys are covered. They don't panic. They keep the ball run. They make a play. Tua doesn't make a play. Tua either executes the play he's told or bad things happen. And we saw that. And now, unfortunately, the rest of the league has a game plan for our season. If you think that every defensive coordinator in this league hasn't watched that game and said, all right, well, I know what we're going to do.
Yeah. So Richie Incognito, former guard for the Miami Dolphins, went on the Arena show on Wednesday and gave his thoughts on the 33-8 loss and specifically gave a blunt response about Tua. And I'll just, he just said, and I'll just say it verbatim there. And he said, Tua is ass. He looks bad. I mean, he is ass. He looks bad. They're running all these crazy offensive plays and nothing seems to work. Tua hasn't been able to, let's see what he said here in regards to what Tua did in 23. When they asked about it, he said Tua hasn't been able to live up to half of that. When when Tua proves he can do it in 23 with the same offense coordinator, this genius McDaniel, and he doesn't do it now, it stinks even more. Head coach Mike McDaniel said sort of the same thing, but with a little different wording. I think I saw, this is Mike McDaniel now. I think I saw a quarterback play that was less to be desired, which Tua absolutely knows. He's the captain and the franchise quarterback, and everybody kind of fell victim to something similar. I also know that he's very much like most quarterbacks, to be honest, where you're putting in a lot of work into something, and it's your first time doing it for a collective 4 quarters and months. You're not at your best. So there, it says to me maybe some off-season rust. That's what I hear from McDaniel right there at the end there. But before we get into McDaniel's comments, what are your reaction just to Incognito's comments?
I laugh. I mean, I'm not part of 2 and On, but he's not wrong. I don't think he's wrong. I like Richie Incognito. I think I'm still pissed that whole thing went down with him. And I wish that we had more mindset, but it's not rust. Like, you've been in training camp, you've been in preseason. That wasn't rust. Rust is like maybe the first series. Okay, you know, connections weren't there, but like, let's shake it off. Like 33-8 isn't rust. That's just poor play, poor planning, poor execution. That's not, we're just rusty because act like you haven't touched a football in months. That's not true.
Yeah. So very quick. First off, what's up, Daniel? Great to see you. Raphael in there in the comments. Finn, Sammy, what's up, my brother? Fins TV, Adrian, of course, Cap, Newfoundland. Make sure here. Happy Wolverine, CCR, Joe Kerr, Scotty, of course. A lot more. Forgive me if I'm missing you guys there. Appreciate you guys watching Fins Talk today here on FTSN. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Bobby Fins Talk with Doll of Doll's Diaries. So Daniel says, of course, it always goes back to Tua, the only quarterback not allowed to have a bad game. With the Miami Dolphins, for Miami Dolphin fans, yes, it's always going to come down to Tua because he is our quarterback. We're not worried about every other quarterback, 31 other teams. Tua, not allowed to have a bad game. That wasn't a bad game. That was a terrible game. That was week 1. That was as healthy as you're going to get to start the game. The game just started. I'm throwing an interception on the first drive.
And also, it wasn't contested balls.
No,
like,
it wasn't.
Not like we could say, oh, that pick wasn't on Tua. The receiver dropped the ball.
Exactly.
True. There was no, like, because sometimes the quarterbacks do get the interception count on against them, and you look at it and you're like, he placed a perfect ball. That receiver just dropped it.
Exactly.
He might as well have thrown. They should have been on our team. Like, they were bad. The fumble, protect your football. Be aware of everything. They were on Tua. So yeah, if he's the one,
same Scotty,
who did the turnovers, he deserves the criticism. He's not some fucking god from Alabama like some of you people think he is. Like,
damn.
He is a man, and he's doing a job. This is his job, and he's acting as if he's like a manager of the team, and he's acting like it's his first day at Walmart.
Damn. All right.
I'm sorry, but to sit there and say it's not all on Tua, it's not all on Tua.
No, it's not.
The 3 turnovers are on Tua.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive stalemate is on Tua because Devon Achane busted his ass to get in that end zone for us so that we didn't get shut out. The 33 points is on the awful, horrendous defense, and Anthony Weaver does not want me to start treating him like Vic Fangio, and he has about 2 more weeks before I do. So don't you worry. I will send my wrath on the defense pretty soon.
Well, and that's the thing too. Is it only on Tua? No, it's 53 other guys. But like, how could you watch week 1 and sit there and say, are we really going to pile up on Tua? No, it's not piling. It's Christopher. The league is piling up onto it. The league and
Yeah.
Dolphin fans should be pissed. And Sammy's absolutely right. Tua's our quarterback. Tua's the Dolphins quarterback. We want him to succeed. We want to see 5 touchdowns. We want to see a winning football. We want to see the Tua when he's on level. We know what he can do when he's playing 100. But he didn't. Let me tell you. Oh, he didn't have an offensive line. Oh, he didn't have this. He didn't have the weapons. Sunday had nothing to do with any of that. The way he played was on him. He was terrible. So Scotty's right. I'm with Scotty. Yeah, Tua's the quarterback. I'm supporting Tua. I want Tua to win. I want Tua to stay healthy. He's our quarterback. We're going to cheer him on. But what you saw in week 1, I know there's a lot of Dolphin fans like Scotty who says, yeah, I'm supporting Tua, but I'm looking towards the future already. I'm scouting quarterbacks round 1. Because how can you see that and say it's going to get better? And yes, if you fire the coach, you fire the GM, you get rid of your starting quarterback, you're probably going to have to take 3 steps back. But you really think you're going to take any 2 or even 1 step forward with this football team right now? Legitimate question. Yes, we all know, we realize it. Any fan who doesn't think, unless you found some elite guy like I did in Madden, I found a quarterback and all of a sudden I'm in the AFC Championship game. I said it. I'm in the AFC Championship. I'm the owner and the head coach. I don't play no games. I ain't hired no other coach. I am the coach. And I drafted Jordan Marshall from Auburn. And we're in but just saying, there's this plan. But seriously, that doesn't happen to St. Madden. So yes, you go and fire your coach and fire your GM and get a quarterback. It's 4 years ahead, by the way. I don't want to say like, oh, I simulate 3 years. That's what I always do. But off topic. Yes, you get rid of all those guys. Absolutely. More than likely, you're going to have to take a step back, 2 or 3 steps back, whatever you want to call it. That's the harsh reality. But here's the good news. We got a good young foundation. We got young guys there that you can build upon in those 2 or 3 years. But with the question you have to ask yourself, what you saw in week 1, do you actually think with McDaniel, with Tua, this team could take a step forward? I don't know how you could see that and say, yes. Tua, it could be great. He could have a great game. He have a great play. What I saw, it was his worst of the worst. I know he could be better. He will be better. There will be times where people are going to go, I told you. But let's just be real. What you saw, it was when, I think of forgetting the coach's name. I think Dennis Green. He is who we thought he was. That's what it is. You're going to get the good. You're going to get the bad. He is Matt Hasselbeck. That's what he is. He's not going to be some elite guy. He's not going to be a terrible quarterback. He's going to get, if he moves on from the Dolphins, move on from him, a team's going to go, man, we need a quarterback. All right, let's get to it right here. He'll be our guy for 4 years. He'll be that guy that just rides you out. Trent Green. Remember Trent Green, Chad Pennington? That's what he is.
The Titans.
There it was. Except Tannehill almost went to a Super Bowl. So,
well, he also had Derrick Henry. So,
well, before Derrick Henry didn't get to the AFC Championship. It was Tannehill. But that's a whole other conversation. Derrick Henry could have been a Dolphin, but we have Chris Greer as our GM. Let me see. I'm sorry. Daniel says, Bobby, the problem with the Tua bashing, it ignores the problems of the defense. It took 4 days for Miami beat writers to ask, why wasn't Will 100%? I knew this 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's a crazy thing. How could Willie Gay, and well, let's go on. Let's move on very quick. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead to McDaniel and Greer, and then we'll just talk about them. But how could all offseason, Willie Gay, man, is one of the standouts in camp, and he got 0 snaps on Sunday. We're going to talk about McDaniel and Greer, but I just want to make this perfectly clear. Nobody gets a pass from Sunday. Anthony Weaver's defense was horrible. On paper, you look at that D-line, you're like, damn, they're going to have a good damn day, or they should have a strong season. And they put up that. Anthony Weaver gets no pass. But again, who's your head guy? And that's McDaniel. Very quick, I just want to ask you, what's your thoughts on Anthony Weaver, DC in week 1, after week 1?
He's on the block. I thought I really liked him last year. I am on the record as saying I didn't love the amount of zone he uses. We all know how I feel about zone coverage. Absolutely despise it, especially when you have a young, inexperienced secondary that haven't played together before. We saw what happened last week. There's miscommunications. People aren't in their spots. You saw Storm Duck get burnt for that first touchdown because he let his guy behind him. He thought the safety was going to be right there. The safety was late coming over. Like it's just a clusterfuck. And then you have, I don't even know, like they weren't blitzing, not often. They weren't getting any pressure up front. I have been on the record as saying that our entire defensive front got ragdolled. Like they should watch that film and come out this week wanting to prove that they're actually men. Like that should, as a man and as like a competitor, seeing yourself get put into splits. Chop got pancaked after he fell. Like those things that you should watch, you should be embarrassed. Chubb on the record saying we were just doing whatever we wanted out there. Like we were making it up as we go. What? That shows me that there is potentially, we already know McDaniel lost the locker room. McDaniel really isn't, nobody respects him. Does Weaver not have the defense? I thought that if there was any unit that was being held accountable, it was the defense with Weaver because he just looks like he means business. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe he has a similar philosophy to McDaniel, and that's why they chose him over my man Rex, who also tore this team apart. Because what do you mean your defensive front, who literally the entire league, everybody was saying that this could have been the strongest front in the National Football League. These guys were supposed to be dominant. What are you telling me that they're not doing anything? They're blowing it. 8 pressures the entire game. 8 on Daniel Jones. And then you're going to go in a press conference and say we were making it up as we went? How was that allowed? If Weaver, you're on the sidelines and you see your guys aren't doing it, why was that shit not fixed at halftime? I just wonder if Weaver is more mentally like McDaniel than we originally thought.
So that's first off, I do want to bring up, that's great. I'm glad you brought up Rex Ryan, what he said. I will say, let me make sure I'm trying to make sure I get the right guy here. I think it was Joe. We knew the defense, especially Joe Kerr says, we knew the defense, especially the secondary, would be a weakness. The offense is where most of the money is, especially the quarterback. That means he has to carry this team. He didn't. He turned it over 3 times. See here, CCR, how much money has been spent on the defense compared to the offense? Why are we expecting the D to bail out the offense? 17 points scored were from Tua's turnovers. Great points. True. Facts. But again, that's their job. You knew going into this season what you had. You were going into that's why, to me, I'm not going to go crazy on the secondary. Now you signed Jack Jones and Rasul Douglas. They're your starters. That's it. But you signed them at the end of the season. I could criticize that. I would rather see the young guys let them get the hits and whatever. Because what else? But we knew going into the season what the defense more than likely was going to be. I still say I'm going to criticize Anthony Weaver in the defense because that D line was getting a lot of praise. That D line gets a lot of hype. They didn't show anything on Sunday. Nothing. So you guys are right to say why offense and Tua might get a lot more criticism and why they deserve it, but there's no sleeping on the Dolphins defense. The defense did not show up. Let's see here. I saw something else. Forgive me. Steve Malloy in the house of Real Talk Phins Talk. Great to see you, brother. He goes, the Colts O-line is really good. In all fairness, Weaver doesn't have a good defensive backfield. Excuse me. What Scotty said in regards of to McDaniel, if McDaniel was fired, if we move on from McDaniel mid-season, I absolutely do not want Anthony Weaver moving to head coach. I don't see him being moved to head coach. I really don't. I would think that would be like Frank Smith or Darryl Bevel or something. Rex Ryan, McDaniel, and Greer put on notice. First of all, the reports are after the game that if Miami continues to struggle, if they lose to New England, and then they got, because if they lose to New England, more than likely they're going to start 0-3 on the season because they got Buffalo right after that. So if they start 0-3 on the season, there's reports that if Miami struggles, we could see McDaniel, possibly Greer. I know a lot of people say there's no way Greer has something on Ross and lawsuit, whatever. But the report said both McDaniel and Greer are on notice. If the team continues to play the way they did, we could see a change. You brought up Rex Ryan on ESPN, your guy. This is what he says. This is on McDaniel. Maybe he's on a different level. McGenius guy or whatever the hell he is. Nerd boy. But anyway, their coach has their team has no respect for their coach. They play like that. They're soft. I'm with you on that. Every part of their football team, they have tons of talent on this team, but they don't play with any passion. That's Rex Ryan, obviously responding on McDaniel, calls him nerd boy. And of course, McGenius as a sarcasm. You brought up Rex Ryan. You hear those? What do you think? You hear his comments. What do you think?
Not wrong. I think I said it last year that he doesn't have this locker room. He's not holding anybody accountable, that they don't respect him. You can see it last year. He went in wanting to be a player's coach. He wanted to be buddy with the players. He wanted, look at me, I'm cool, I'm nerdy, I have this, that's what he wanted. But this team in this city needs a Don Shula. It needs even though I hate his guts, Bill Belichick. It needs a Rex Ryan. It needs that firm hand because there's so much temptation. There's so many issues with South Beach and, historically all over the news. It needs a firm hand. You need a coach that pulls nose punches, no bullshit. You cannot leave all of these players to control their team because a lot of them are immature 22 to 26-year-old guys with money that they for the first time. And you have a beach, you have girls, you have drugs, you have alcohol, you have all these temptations, and you're going to trust these 20 somethings to put in the work that needs to be done in an NFL caliber situation. No, they need to be held accountable. Somebody needs to be running this place. And these players have shown that they can't do it. This is not a team. This is not a unit. This is just 53 dudes doing whatever the hell they want and showing up on a Sunday and then leaving.
So let's see here. Scotty says midseason change. Marvin Allen as GM, David Bevel as your head coach. I will say, because I know a lot of people say about Greer not being the one who gets moved because whatever. I could see him still remaining with the Dolphins. I don't see him as the GM. I could see him being put as an advisor and Ross keeping him on the payroll. That's another thing because I know team's going to want to put him as the GM. I don't see that. So that's where I see Greer being after Greer. If they're going to make a change, he's going to say, okay, I'm going to make you an advisor, give you some sort of other role. And then we're going to, and maybe that is Marvin Allen being elevated. But in regards of a head coach, should McDaniel be put on notice? Absolutely. For everything what Dulles said. And, what you saw, I know it's crazy to say after week 1, the coach has lost the locker room. But guess what? Again, there you go. Again, after what you saw, and when I say you, I'm talking about Dolphin fans. When you watch that team on Sunday, did you see a team playing like they believe in their head coach? No. It's crazy. Yes, it is crazy to say for any team or any coach that you've lost the locker room after week 1. That team played like they didn't believe in their head coach. So yes, Mike Daniel should absolutely be on notice. His seat is boiling, as I've said on the SoFlo Sports Show with Lou and Ashley, Adrian and Sammy. His seat should be scalding hot, like you cooked the ramen noodles back when we were in college and you didn't have no money and you had to wait for it to boil so you could, those were the days. Yes, absolutely. And, I'm going to tell you, I know people say, Adrian says, Adrian of the Rainy Day Podcast, shout out to Adrian. Sammy of Phins TV as well. Great guys. Sammy will be on with me tomorrow on the pregame show. But Adrian will say, it says, don't fire McDaniel. Let him have the entire season so we get a better draft pick. I say no.
No, I'll take the draft pick. I always
Because
take
we
the
know how that all plays out. I said, what's going to happen? He stays at the head coach, and the Dolphins win a couple of games, and Steven Ross is going to go, oh, wait, maybe these guys could do it. We'll keep them for another year.
No,
And
you fire him mid-season. You have an interim come in. You tank the rest of your season, and you hire a new guy at the season ends, and you tell him you get full range. You get to draft your quarterback, who you want, pick your guy, and you start fresh. And Dolphin fans, we have 2 to 3 years before we really start to see anything come up and buckle up and supply alcohol.
Yeah. And I will say, I'll tell you what, if this team starts, if they lose, this is a must win on Sunday, a must win, especially for jobs. Because again, if Miami loses against the Patriots tomorrow, more than likely they're going 0-3 against Buffalo.
First of all, stop. What? We're not giving Buffalo any credit, anything. We lose next week, we'll bounce back to Buffalo. We're never saying that Buffalo will beat us. I'm so tired of hearing fans.
We are 99% sure.
I don't care.
I give them 1%. 99% sure we're going 0-3. I'll give you 1%.
I don't care. I will never. I am the Eagles and Buffalo is the Cowboys. I will never.
That's how I feel about the Jets, and that's the Jets. Whatever, I get it.
Never give that a lick of respect. No.
All right, if they lose, okay, this is not a must-win. They lose today, maybe they're going to beat Buffalo. We'll be 1-2.
Not saying we're going to beat Buffalo. I'm not saying we're going to beat Buffalo. I'll just never say Buffalo is going to beat us.
So you're telling me there's a chance. I give them 1.1%. Yes, I'm giving the Dolphins 0.1. Yeah, that's cool. I get it. I'm with you on that. All right, I'll say it. We got 0.1%. We could beat Buffalo, but 99% chance we're going to be 0-3. And if we start 0-3, heads should roll. That's why this is a must win, especially for Coach
smuggle
McDaniel.
in. So I'll be at the Dolphin Chargers game. If you guys want me to smuggle a sign in, you let me know. We'll vote on what it should say.
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
wear a T-shirt that says "Fire Greer and McDaniel" and get my ass in that stadium. Don't even think I won't. That'll be the next Dallas Diaries. Well, we will vote what insane sign or T-shirt Doll wears into that stadium.
Said the same thing about Daniel Jones, and what did he do? I don't trust the Dolphins at all. Let me ask you something. If maybe it's too early, but I'm sure you might have a name in your head, because it's a great point. Nutri said, you need someone with a firm hand. And then we talk, what about Flores? That's a different thing. But if McDaniel was to be fired, is there, and it's okay if you don't, because everybody will say, oh, you're saying, then who's the guy? Who do we draft? And who's the guy we hire? Is there any name or names that you were like, hey, I would like Miami to look that way? If you fire McDaniel, McDaniel, head coach wise,
Rex Ryan. My third year saying it. I'm standing on that hill.
There you go.
I've been calling for him. I'll buy him I'll buy him shoes every week if he needs me to. Yeah, I think that he would have the perfect hand. He knows our division. I think he's a great defensive mind, despite, people don't like him, but he ain't going to allow that in his locker room. And I think for the right price, he would come back into the league for sure. And I would trust him then to either get rid of Reaver or get his own defensive mind. But we would then become, instead of an offensive guru, we would then have a defensive minded football team, which is the kind of team I want. Listen, that's why I said I would buy him shoes. I will buy him sandals every week so that he's not distracted. Awesome. I'll petition Ross to just hire like an in-house foot person for him, like foot massages every week.
Oh no! Let me just say, first off,
I don't get. People hate me for this take. This is actually, even though I've gotten like some nasty messages from like TuneIn, me wanting Rex Ryan is probably my most controversial take that I have.
Well, my mother, Tammy from Miami, who might be on next Saturday with me here, it also said to me recently that she was like, we need that type of guy. We need that Rex Ryan guy, after she heard what he said about McDaniel. So you're not the only one. And if mom's watching, hello, mom. Love you. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling well. Prayers up to my mother. She's currently dealing with some stuff down there. She's in the hospital. So, let's give her thoughts and prayers. And she's doing better. She sounded better yesterday. So all good. But if she's doing well, she's going to be on with us next Saturday. That'll be a lot of fun. I'll have to behave. There are so many better options out there beyond a washed up mouthpiece who's often wrong. Damn.
People hate my take, but if not Rex Ryan, I want somebody like him, that mindset, that old school, that no nonsense. And I'm so tired of offensive gurus. I want a defensive minded team. I want the no-name defense. I want the steel curtain. I want the 84 Bears. Like, that's what I want our current team to be, is bullies. Give me a whole offensive line full of Richie Incognitos.
For sure.
That's the team. I don't want the soft, let's talk about our feelings, kumbaya team. No, I want you to go out there and just bulldoze the hell out of the entire league.
He says, I will also say I'm not a Dolphins fan by any stretch. I just want something new to watch, but you guys don't deserve that piss poor coaching. First of all, well, we thank you for tuning in from Twitch. Thank you. If for all those, first off, you're watching Phins Talk today here on FTSN. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or Twitter, we appreciate you guys watching. We got 81 people watching from around wherever you're watching from. If you're anywhere other than YouTube, come on over to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. We got more than just Dolphins here on FTSN. We got NFL, college football, Hurricanes. We got the U today. We got wrestling. We got it all. I'll be on again today for wrestling, actually. We'll be going through the dirt sheets. So let me just say, for me, I love that idea. Like you think, you want that type of guy. You want a no nonsense, whatever. I think of Tomlin, but that's another day. My thing would be, I'm interested in any former head coach. I don't care. I'm not saying that. I'm not interested like, as soon as you hire him. I'm saying just put them all out there. We'll do process of elimination, and we'll go with the best one. But Bobby, he got fired. He sucked at his last job. Well, there's a reason why he's available. He's a former head coach. But that's a guy. I don't want no rookie head coach. And any head coach we do get, I don't want a guru of anything. I don't want a defensive guru. I don't want an offensive guru. I don't want a guy who's going to be like this during the game.
No, I want him to rely on his core.
I want a guy who
the whole point of them.
Yeah, I want a guy who delegates offensive play calls, defensive play calls. I'm the head freaking football coach. You're McDaniel. You're not Andy Reid. He could get away with that. You're not that guy.
Hear me out. I'm available for hire, Dolphins.
There you go.
As a head coach, ain't no one getting away with anything on my watch.
But again, I think for me, any veteran head coach, or if you gotta go rookie, I am emotionally scarred by rookie coach. I don't want a rookie coach, but if you're going to go that route, talk to me about a former player, NFL player. Okay. And I could go down that list. All right. DeMarco Ryans, Mike Vrabel. Look at what they did when they got their jobs. You think of Aaron Glenn, what he just with the Jets. They lost last Sunday, but look at the effort they put up. So if you had to go rookie, I don't want to see some McGenius nerd boy. Oh, I love his picture. Look, he looks like an IT guy with big glasses, and he's so funny. I want that guy. Enough of that bullshit. Get me a head football coach. Get me a guy who's going to come in here, whether he's a rookie, former veteran, a former player in the NFL who knows how to come at a player, who knows to demand respect, or a former head coach who's done it before, who knows, okay, I made a mistake here. I'm going to do better. That's what I want. If we go that route, if you fire McDaniel, there's my thing. Veteran head coach. And if you got to go rookie, I don't want to hear anybody about, I don't want a Ben Johnson type. And I'm not crapping on Ben Johnson, but rookie head coach who's not, if it was the Lions situation where we're looking at Aaron Glenn or Ben Johnson, and but look at that offense from the Detroit Lions. I would want Aaron Glenn. I hate that Aaron Glenn went to the Jets. I hate it. Russ Morgan, when you watch this show, our resident Jets Celtics fan, you know how much I hate that you guys hired Aaron Glenn. Because I know that guy could be a damn good football coach. So you guys want to come at me with coaches? Don't bring me a rookie coach unless he's a former player. And there's a few of them in this league who our former players that are coaching defenses and all that whatnot, we'll talk then. Let me read some of these comments here, and then we'll move on to Tyreek. We won't stay too long on there. Spot on, Bobby. Tati in the comments Bobby's been asking for a veteran head coach for years. It would be cool to see a woman head coach, but your affinity for Rex Rod makes me question your qualifications. There you go, from our resident non-Dolphins fan watching the show. Go get a proven guy. No more rookie coaches. I'm so afraid they keep Greer as an advisor. This is Joe Kerr, and promote someone from inside the organization. We need someone from a competent franchise. You're right, Joe. More than likely, I'm going to tell you, more than likely, Greer stays on as an advisor. I think that is the case. Brandon Shore, I think Scotty brought it up, is a name. Yes, more than likely. The front office is one where I don't see a lot of change. I just see a guy moving up, whether that's Marvin Allen or Brandon Shore. But I'm with you. If they actually go out and get a guy that from outside, I'm looking at the Chiefs. I'm looking at the Steelers. I'm looking at organizations, Baltimore Ravens. I'm looking at teams that know how to build winning football teams. That's where I'm going. But that's another conversation for another day when it comes to the front office. Head coach, we'll go. I know we won't give him credit for anything. I'm so done with him. There you go. All right. Tyreek Hill. You said it. First of all, Tyreek Hill, what he was showing on the sidelines was a lot more than Tua or most other people. He wasn't laughing. He was pissed. That was good to see. What's not good to see is the allegations made against him. And we won't go into detail on that, but the NFL is investigating Tyreek Hill. And why does this matter now? Well, first of all, if he gets suspended, if they find hey, you know what, they're going to suspend him. There's been a lot of talk about trading, especially after week 1. Trade Tyreek Hill. Teams are calling Dolphins. Hey, Chiefs, so-and-so. They're calling Miami. What would you want for Tyreek? The Dolphins are like, we don't want anything right now. We're going to hold on to him because it's only week 1. Then this comes out. Now you're getting reports that teams are saying, nah, we're good. We're going to wait. Of course they're going to wait. Of course that's going to dry up interest because they're going to wait till the NFL clears Tyreek Hill of these allegations. So your thoughts on the investigation, at least, you don't have to go into details on the investigation, but your thoughts on the NFL investigating Tyreek Hill, possibly suspension, and the trade rumors. What are your thoughts on that?
No comment. I'm not commenting on that aspect. I mean, the investigation will be what it is. Tyreek's going to play until there's a suspension or something. I'm not at a panic mode that I want to trade Tyreek Hill yet, especially because I don't think that we have a lot of offensive weapons without Tyreek Hill. I think him and Waddle complement each other well, and, not having Jonnu and, that situation. So we'll just have to see what comes of it, but I would not be shocked if at the end of the year Tyreek is gone. Just don't go to the Steelers. I'm so tired of Dolphin players going to the Steelers.
For someone who has no comment, that was pretty damn good, and I think we can leave it as that. But I will say, let me just read some of these. They're going to get Flatley from Green Bay. Lou says it has to be a guy, this is in regards to head coach, it has to be a guy that's been a head coach in the NFL, not a college football lifer or I absolutely agree. I am not for any college coach. But in regards of, I'll say, the trade part of it, the NFL investigation, let that play out. But in regard to the trade, it makes sense not to move them, at this point in time. Hold on. But if that 0-3 option comes up, now, again, we got to wait for this investigation to go. But if it was 0-3 and you could move them for some draft picks to the Kansas City Chiefs or whatever, that's when I would do it, especially if the season's lost at that point. Get rid of him now, or just wait till the offseason. Newfoundland says, yes, trade Hill, Waddle, and Washington going forward. Scotty, Dolphins we don't let them grow. Dolphin fans love riding the hamster wheel. Yes, 6 years is not enough. We got to go 12 years before we decide to move on from somebody. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. 6 years is not enough to keep a guy. Aquavision says Mike McCarthy is a name. You know what? Again, I wouldn't discredit that at all. I'm look what he did in Green Bay. Dallas is a no-win situation. I want to be against having Mike McCarthy interview or consider that former veteran head coach, a successful coach in this league at one point. Yeah. So anyway, oh, look at that, Joe Kerr. I'm slowly warming up to the idea of Mike McCarthy. There you go. So again, that will be an episode eventually. But in regards to head coach, I love what Dahl said. There's not much really to add to it. I thought I would have to when she said no comment. I was like, that's fair. And I was like, okay, what do I have to say? And then when she said everything else, I was like, never mind. She did it anyway. That's why you guys should watch Dahl's Diaries on FTSN Extra. If you want good takes, wild takes, out of their takes, but badass takes, go watch Dahl's Diaries with Dahl here.
One thing I say is they may be wild and crazy, but I stand by my takes. I've never come back from a take. I own it. Whether it was a bad take or not, I'll tell you that was a bad take, but it was my take.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we've gone through that. We're about almost an hour in. Dolphins played New England Patriots tomorrow in Miami. It's a home game. I talked about this on Lou and Ashley's show, 305 Sports Babe and Lou. But I'm going to ask you, for tomorrow's game, the Dolphins want to go 1-1. We want the Dolphins to win tomorrow, obviously. So what are your keys to a Dolphins victory tomorrow? What are your 3 keys?
Ball security.
Love it.
Because if you don't win a turnover game, you don't win the game. The second is going to be our defense. We need to get pressure. That our defensive front needs to do what it needs to do. They have their offensive line is young. I think last week they recorded 3 pre-snap penalties just on, I think it was like the left side. If we can exploit that and get some pressure up there, that'd be great. And my third point is going to be we need to play complementary offensive football. And what I mean by that is that they have some injuries. Gonzalez is out. So our passing game has a chance to really take off. But if it is not, we have to commit to running the ball. We have to use Ollie in there. We can't just rely on Achane up the gut. I don't know why we're still running Achane up the gut. Love my man. But we have somebody who's a little bit more of that bulldozer type back. We have to complementary be running the ball as much as we're trying to pass it. If Tua is still being off, if for some reason our receivers aren't getting open, we need to stick to the run. And those are my 3.
So let me just say here, for me, number 1, protect the football, run the ball. That was number 1. Number 2, don't leave points on the board. Get them while you can. And number 3, defense. I want to see your defense impact the game. I want to see I want to see that quarterback get hit. I want to see him get rattled. We talked a lot about that D-line. I want that D-line to show up in week 2. I want week 1 to be a hiccup for that D-line. Again, protecting the football. Last week, 2 in that offense did not. 2 interceptions, a fumble, and then running the ball. Even with Ollie, it wasn't enough. I mean, even with Devon Achane, it wasn't enough.
They didn't really utilize Ollie, and I was like, 2
carries for Ollie Gordon, 7 carries for Devon Achane.
And Achane is great, but I say this time and time again, he's great on the outside. He's great if there's a gaping hole and his speed can get him there. But if it's a clogged up middle and we're having trouble, put Ollie in, put the bigger guy in to move the pile. Ollie is great at being able to get us an extra yard or so just by pushing his body. Achane doesn't have the size to do that. So when McDaniel calls these plays that I think Ollie should be running, I'm shocked. Like, utilize your players. Call the play for the player. Don't plug a player into the play. Call the play for the player. I see high school do that all the time. They want a playbook to be run and they want to call this play, but they're not utilizing the players they have in there. You cannot win if you're not putting the right players in the right positions. And so many times when running the football, Mike McDaniel does not do that. And I think that if we can start doing that well, I think that's a great key to doing this.
There you go. For someone who just woke up, she's been on a freaking roll. Like, this is easy. Today's been easy for me. I'm not going to lie to you guys.
You're saying I'm easy?
Never. You could have given me.
You heard it here
No.
first. Doll's Diaries is easy.
Joe says Doug Peterson, as long as he doesn't bring Press Taylor. Scotty says, Joe, I had Peterson as a lead. I did too. Doug Peterson, a former Dolphins quarterback, right? Backup Dolphins quarterback, veteran head coach, what he did with the Eagles. We know what happened with Jacksonville, but I'm still, if again, we fire McDaniel, I'm telling you guys, veteran head coaches, Doug Peterson, Mike McCarthy, there's other names out there. I'm not rejecting either one of them. There's a few, Adam Gase, no hell, no way. But, those type of guys, yes, absolutely. I would consider Doug Peterson again. And I wouldn't say dull, easy, Phins Diaries are easy. No, I wouldn't go there. That's cut. No, but I have to ask you this.
Speaking of easy.
Let's see if you're easy on this. Tomorrow. I don't know if you have a score prediction. I think if I remember correctly, you don't like doing that.
No.
But game prediction. Can are you comfortable saying Dolphins go 1-1 tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
But that's more in like a jinxy kind of way. It goes up there with the score predictions. But I think that if the keys that me and you both talked about combined, if they follow through with all those key points, I don't see how they don't win the game. If they protect the ball, if they have complementary football, if the defense shows up and gets a stop and gets pressure, I don't see how the Patriots can beat that. So I think it really comes down to execution. And so I'm curious to see if they can do that.
No, I think you're right on. And I will say, I did say this on the SoFlo Sports Show, so I'm going to say it here. I do have Miami winning the game tomorrow. I have it 2017 Dolphins split, and they go 1-1. And I know, because they were like a couple. I'm not gonna say who, because I'll let them do it. They lost 0-2 on the season, whatever. And I think I was one of the only ones that. Well, no, Lou said win too as well, but I said win, so I got it 2017 Miami. And hopefully they follow through with our keys to the game. But it's been a great show. It's been a lot of fun. We're at an hour in. I'm not done for today, obviously. When am I ever? I'm going to be on again at 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you love professional wrestling, I'll be on the No Holds Barred Wrestling podcast with Josh Kimmel. We'll be going through the dirt sheets, talking about all the stuff behind the scenes and all the good stuff, people, Matt Riddle opening his mouth, all this, whatnot, whatever. But, Doll, where can people find you? Obviously, Doll's Diaries, Twitter, all the above. Let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me here. Phins Talk Sports Extra. That's Tuesdays at 7 now. Twitter and Instagram, it's doll_fan72, the PH, because I'm feisty. And yeah, you'll see me. You won't see me, but I do live tweet during the games, my reactions. Sometimes that's hysterical. Sometimes it's not. But I watch alone, so it's nice to be on. I'll be on Twitter, and I like to just say things that I feel like need to be said.
There you go. That's okay. It's all right. So there you go. Of course, again, you find me later today. You find me tomorrow on the pregame show and the postgame show, win, lose, or draw. And of course, later today on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast or anywhere on FTSN. You can find me at Bobby Finstock on Twitter. We appreciate everybody tuning in, Dolphin fans. I know it was a rough start, but let's hope we feel better after tomorrow. Till then, like and subscribe. And most importantly, Dolphin fans, as always, fins up.